Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IPL 5 here at Las Vegas in the Cosmopolitan. Joining me, of course, is Joe Miller on the left of me and Jat to the right of me. I am D-Man. We are bringing you CLG EU versus Team WE, and Team WE 1-0 up, looking incredibly strong already, Joe.
They look incredibly strong. I think that's the perfect way to sum it up. All through the tournament as well, they've not really faltered up until now. That first game was, I think I used the term one-way street, Jat, which is exactly how it went, and just wondering whether CLG can pick them up from pretty much off the ground to come back in this game.
Yeah, I'd say that game was actually a little bit scary for both teams there, or just for Team WE, because coming into that, they had some stats up on LoL King. Both of these teams had the top 8 in KDA from both sides. They were both 2-0 top of their groups. Only Group A and B actually still have teams in the winner's bracket. So it's really just clashing into each other. So you'd expect this really epic close game. No.
And a stat for you, actually. Grepo only actually died once in the whole tournament. I can't remember who focused him. But, you know, speaking to Grepo in between the game, he said, that comp, I'd run it again. I think we'd beat them. It's just purely about the level 1 fight, he thought.
The level 1 fight, just some bad trades in the bottom lane,
yeah.
I think is what he said. They didn't, well, we were in a champ select and we're out. But we'll be in very shortly. I think he accidentally, oh, we might have some other problems. Nope, back in. Perfect.
Okay, so picks and bans. What are we expecting to see come out? Are we going to expect to see similar bans this time, or will they have to target that Evelynn? Twisted Fate, of course, Messiah. There's so many things that you need to ban against these teams that they're just not feeling confident enough. I mean, which ones would you think would be the primary targets?
It's so difficult against these guys because Twisted Fate, absolutely the #1 ban against these guys. We saw Moscow 5 give Messiah Twisted Fate, and that was not a good idea.
That was not a good idea.
Even Evelynn, a lot of these strategies, Messiah seems to be kind of their linchpin. Wei Zhao, always the huge carry in the bottom lane, but Messiah is kind of the creator for them, so they're going to probably try to disrupt him. You can't really ban out Wei Zhao because there's way too many 80 carries on the table, but I think if you ban Eve and TF again, and then maybe just a Blitzcrank because they're worried about getting FZ or Wei Zhao really, really going, that might be the bans from CLG EU, but because of all the threats from WE, they can't make too many adjustments from last game.
Yeah, and if you look down the statistics, Froggen Anivia is one of the most highly banned champions. Against them, 85% of the time, Anivia is banned against CLG. They're the stats coming into this tournament, so before day one. The only one higher that I've found across the whole board is Messiah's Twisted Fate at 86%.
Oh, man. So you can really see they're the threats coming out from both mid laners. There's no way Froggen's going to be getting Anivia, but they're fine giving him Lux because that didn't seem to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep enough pressure in the lane. He wasn't able to pressure buffs with his laser like we saw when he's successful with that. So I think they're okay with that.
So do you think that CLG maybe going to look at it and maybe go a Bruiser in the mid? I mean, we've seen Jarvan in there, we've seen Lee Sin in there. Do you think that's, I mean, it's really about what the synergy is. And I'm thinking, looking back to this morning, we saw double AP lanes. Voyboy running the Gragas in their top lane with Katarina. Fnatic actually at the moment versus CLG NA have Katarina on PK, but it's not working for them. They're actually losing at the moment to CLG NA. CLG NA 1-0 up. That game very close though as well. Are we going to see some sort of similarities here? Similar bans, exact same bans from Team WE, and identical bans from CLG.
CLG giving Eve to them again if they want it at the end of their team comp. And this would be a moment for CLG EU to take Sona away, because I think the crescendo is a huge thing, and maybe go for one of their bruiser comps, whether they want to do Lee Sin or Jarvan in the mid with some kind of AP champion top to work it. He does play Rumble and Vladimir. If they had to do something like that, you might expect it, or if Crep was to be believed and it was just a bad trade and they think they did things right and just got snowballed on, we might see a repeat of last game's picks.
Well, all we know until now is that Ezreal in there for Wei Zhao, who we saw playing brilliantly again in that last game and have time and time again. Let's see what CLG go for in this one. Still got 20 seconds or so to pick up their first couple. And just the speed of this shows me that they are taking a long time to decide 100% on what they're going to go for. And it's going to be the same pick, the same bottom lane that they had in that last game of Zyra Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that's a really bold move if they go in with these 2 picks. And I think they haven't locked both there. They have locked both of them, because that last game went horribly wrong. And it's one of those confidence things. If they really think it was just their strategy, they're allowing WE to mimic, because up to this point, it's exactly the same. I don't see why WE wouldn't want the same game unless they think CLG EU has something else planned aside from these first 2 picks. But That's a ballsy move by CLG, just going straight in like they did last time after losing 1 kill to 21, I think.
But do you think it could be maybe a different top lane as they use in there, or maybe just a different mid lane, something to change it up, something to keep a track? There's the Sonic looking like he might get picked up, and that's going to be down that bottom lane. FZZF, as you mentioned, there's a possible Rengar, and Messiah locks that in, so it's going to be Salmei on the top lane with Rengar, so definitely going to be changes here. What will that force CLG? We know that Wicked likes Aurelia. He really wants Aurelia. I mean,
Can't have it.
He can't have it. Is he going to have to fall back on a Renekton, a Shen available? What will he fall back to?
It's tricky now because they first picked Rengar last game to keep it away from Team WE, and giving that, we even saw that amazing escape, I think it was Thursday from Xiaomei. I guess it could be that Rumble. If they go with a Rumble in the top lane, that's what he'd fall back to. And with an Amumu that is so much magic damage already, that's going to be either a Jarvan or a Lee Sin mid if they go with those 2 picks, and it would be that CLG EU bruiser mid combo that they have going. WE's probably going to see that coming. Not sure what they're going to match up with it.
Well, those 2 picks are going to be locked in here in a second. Don't forget, guys, you can vote for who you want to win this game. You can see 51 to 49%, pretty much bang even. You guys are thinking, even after watching that first game and how World Elite have been playing up until now. So there we go. Amumu and Rumble going to be locked in. There is a Cho'Gath up until now for World Elite. And Jack, what are we expecting for that final pick?
Well, Cho'Gath in the jungle and whatever he has, and this is probably Jarvan, if I had to guess. Maybe he'd do a Corki because he thinks Corki is a counter up to Orianna, but it's one of those 3, Jarvan, Lee Sin, or Corki. I can't see them going magic damage here because I feel like they'd overload themselves in that resource, and we're going to see one of those bruiser mids from Froggen in this one. So
Orianna with the Rengar combo, it could well work out for Team WE. Other than that, that's the only switch they've had. Evelynn and Rengar switching out. So what will CLG go with? Will Froggen, you can see him discussing it on the screen. You can see him talking. He's talking to the team, and the team are like, really? Okay. Are you sure about this one? So it seems that Froggen is definitely going to be the man making the decision here. Crepo's obviously trying to talk him out of it because he hasn't selected anything just yet. But he's waiting to see what he's going to pick up. It is going to be a Lee Sin mid, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just what he's confident with, right? I mean, we even heard sometimes when we have those listen-ins, do you want to play Swain? Do you want to play Karthus? And they just list off 5 or 10 champions. He's like, no, I think Lee Sin would be a good pick.
I think Lee Sin
here.
would
Do you want to play Jarvan? No, I think Lee Sin would be a good pick here. And it's probably good that they didn't go with something like Corki because they don't want to be too squishy. The initiation that's going to come out from Team WE in this is going to be that Rengar with the Orianna ball. It's what everyone loves doing now, just that circular AoE stacking. And for this, the physical damage and the spike has to come up from Froggen, and then everyone else on CLG is just AoE out the end of it. And it's going to be a very interesting matchup now that CLG's went with bruiser mid.
So are we expecting to see some 2v1s here? Are they going to go for the switch, or are they going to try and keep it as even keel as they can? I mean, I don't know, how is Rumble going to compare to an Ezreal Sona? Because that's the ultimate poke comp.
I almost expect them to go 2v2 here in lanes. It is the ultimate poke comp, but I feel like the 1v2 definitely didn't work out for them well there, because when they did the 1v2, WE took the entire turret and CLG barely had anything on it. That was the level 1 trade that they were talking about went wrong, but just getting into that situation again might be a bad idea. And if they can make this more standardized laning play, that's more CLG's style. And if WE opts into that, CLG's going to be fine agreeing.
So let's lay it down once again. We can see that the fans at home, I noticed as soon as Lee Sin was locked in there, it ticked up to 52% to CLG. But Demon, you called World Elite for the first game. You had it right. Can you see it changing here?
I would love to say yes, but honestly, Team WE just looked so strong, so smooth in their team play. CLG EU, they said, you know, even if we were 10 kills down, we could have beat them in a team fight in that last game. But honestly, Team WE, their team fights just seem so crisp at this tournament. They seem to have pulled something together, and it just, everything is clicking for them right now.
Their whole game is just together. It's not just the laning phase. It's not just the first 20 minutes. Everything does seem to be coming together for them. And they're picking team comps which can do that yet again. You're just grimacing at the potential for a fight where Rengar will hop in with an Orianna ball. That'll go off. Crescendo will come in after that. Cho'Gath Rupture will come in after that. The Ezreal's going to fly in all over that. And CLG will just be gone. And if things goes right for WE, that's what's going to happen.
And it almost counters the fact that Snoopy's in there with Curse and Sad Mommy. You know, Rumba's got to get close. Lee Sin's got to dive in there. So the only people who's going to be at range is Yellow Pete and Crepo. Well, you can easily pick them off. Messiah's going to stand at range. Salmei can jump straight in there and just pull and counteract that Curse of the Sad Mommy with a shockwave.
But to be completely fair, I am discounting CLG's teamfight a little bit because they are very much teamfight AoE heavy. It's Zyra's ult is the range of an Amumu ult, and it changed so well because if you land it in the same zone of Curse of the Sad Mummy, that Zyra knockup's always going to land, which people normally are able to run out of. All right, teamfighting is going to be pretty crazy, but what's level 1 going? Everyone actually, defensive formations, despite having a fair amount of level 1 CC, doesn't look like anything true creative's coming out here.
And that line defense set up on both sides of the map. I wonder if anyone's going to step out, try and get that ward in position. There's the pings coming down on towards Orianna, using that ball as a scout, as we see so often from Orianna at this kind of level in the game. And up until now, neither team really trusting themselves, I think, to make that one step that can always prove fatal.
You see 3 members of WE, so many pings going off early game. Snoopy trying to guard his own wraiths. Krepo actually waiting around the edge. He was going to look to root if they walked in and then get away himself. Really not expecting much to happen level 1.
So Team WE setting up defensive line. They're not going the aggressor, nor are CLG. You can see on your screens on the bottom left-hand side, it is Team WE in that camera shot. They have their own keyboards, their own mouse. They have lovely white and red combos to go with their jerseys. And of course, CLG EU in that bottom right-hand corner. And the screens, it is WE in the blue. And the red team, CLG EU, will be starting off. So it's going to be a Wraith start for Clearlove, and Messiah helping him heavily there with that leash, making sure he sticks around. Actually picked up some of the gold as well.
So Xiaomei went back for a 4th health pot as well. Wicked going for the 1v2 lane, and a delayed invade coming from CLG EU, looking to take some kind of blue buff. And already trying to counteract that is Team WE because they had that ward at the Wraith Brush, and they might just end up trading blue buffs here.
They're trading it off, and Wicked's actually coming around. He's got to be careful. He's going to walk straight into a 4-man, and he's like, whoop, abort, and backing straight out. Sees that the blue buff is being taken away. So a complete counter between the two, Joe, and it looking like it's going to be a 2v1 in the top lane.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. We can see Yellow Pete and Krepo head up on towards that side. In the bottom lane, then we will obviously have a Ezreal Sona versus Rumble. So how is this going to work out? It looks like Amumu actually going to have a bit of a peek down towards that middle lane. Orianna against Lee Sin, obviously not a standard lane that we're really used to seeing, Jack. What's your opinion on how this is all going to go? Froggen's
going to have to get aggressive, especially at level 6. He's very strong at this Lee Sin. Messiah has been dominating these games, so not 100% confident in how Lee Sin works mid since it's such a new development by Froggen. But for the most part, he's going to max his Q and really just try to harass a bunch with it. And then once he has his ultimate, really going for kills. Snoopy waiting a really long time in that wing for a gank. They're trying to get him an early edge in this lane. Messiah pushing up for CS. He's going to try something.
And here we go, the bandage shots landing in there, flash away from Messiah. Lee Sin going to get himself away as well. He actually went fairly low from that, but staying alive. But most crucially, I'd say, that flash burn by Orianna.
And we'll see if it's worth it because Clearlove got a huge edge on Snoopy there. He really spent at least 40 seconds waiting in the wings there. And we might see some counter jungling coming out from Clearlove. He knows Snoopy's going to be low and behind in levels. Snoopy doesn't have the ward here. This could potentially be dangerous. He's probably going to smite that right away. He actually just went to look for the wraiths. Now he might be going mid.
Yeah, use the smite there, going towards Froggen. Froggen, the ignite was just burned on Froggen there in that mid lane by Messiah. And now we're seeing Snoopy heading up towards that top lane. Maybe going to try and gank up towards Rengar, but he's going to pass straight over a ward. They have vision of him, so they know that he's going there. The question is, yes, Clearlove, you can see already making his move towards the top lane. Is Messiah going to follow? Well, Xiaomei is realizing he knows that he's going to be in a 3v1 situation. Surely saw him pass by. Clearlove's going to get up there in time. It should just walk straight in towards the bush for Snoopy here, Joe.
Yeah, nicely done there. They actually walked over a ward, Clearlove. So both teams, you know, kind of expecting this to happen. Clearlove really adjusting to that one as quickly as they possibly can. I mean, we've seen time and time again throughout this tournament that almost mirrored starts when we've had these 2v1 swaps of the jungler getting in there and diving in from that tri-bush side. And it seems like World Elite and CLG have really learnt from the games that they watched yesterday when they had a day off and have made sure to counter that with ward placement.
They've become so much more aware of that play. Even in the first game of the set, both junglers were just waiting for a potential 3-man gank in the wings and just trying to shut that down. Right there, they had the early ward to stop it as well as Clearlove going in to stop it as well. So really, that just negates the action early. And this is just something that seems to always happen in these WE games. Look at that 700 gold advantage already developed for Team WE. They just outlaned their opponents almost every match.
And if you think back to, even back to Poland, before CLG faced WE in the OGN Summer Championships, CLG basically said back then, They know what WWE do. They stack up. That is their tactic. They develop that tactic about stacking at level 3 and diving on that turret. So if anyone is going to execute it perfectly, it is going to be WWE. Wicked at the moment having a bit of a tricky time against down that 2v1 lane against Wei Xiao and FZZF. And really, this is going to be a harder lane for him, I feel, than Rengar. Rengar can sit back and just absorb as much damage as he can on that turret.
And I'm just trying to figure out where most of this gold is coming from. All that early ganking that Snoopy tried to do, he's only at 10 minion kills, almost 6 minutes in, and level 3 on Amumu here. He's hoping that maybe that W is going to dive here, and he might come in. They're getting real aggressive. Maybe bandage.
Here we go. Weizhou is going to go low on this one. This could be the first kill. Exhaust goes down on Snoopy. There's a flash in from Wicked. Weizhou going low, and there is the first blood for Wicked. But can they tie up this second kill, Demon? No.
No, flash was burned as well. FF says EF, and the COG chance come out. So first blood used up, and that gives them a huge advantage. Wicked now really needed that in the lane.
CLG chance coming out, and that is what they didn't have last game. They got one of the lanes potentially swinging in their direction. That one kill, if he can get some spellbound for tankiness, especially once you hit level 6 on Rumble, is going to be very, very scary. And the turrets themselves, though, are again going to be an issue because Wicked's turret is at a 3rd. He's going to need a lot to protect that. And the top lane of CLG EU has not pushed down their turret in the same way. So we could very well start seeing repeat of last game. That kill going to help it stop, though.
And right now we see Snoopy in that middle lane. I just said behind by a good 20 CS, but has that assist with him as well. Going to ward up here onto those curved bushes around that middle area. Quick CS check in the top lane as well. 22 to 16. I say in the top lane, obviously, I mean the those two bruisers with Rumble being behind on that. But with that first blood in there, you can see the gold. It got even there, bang on even actually. But again, you can see that World Elite, they're just so good when it comes to farming, always, 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 that they are ahead once again, as we are going to see Clear Love coming down into this bottom lane, and Wicked has seen that coming and is backed off.
But that was just a matter of making sure they got the turret. It's their 3. That was actually a 4-man stack they were thinking about getting there. And of course, at 7 minutes, they were also going for a blue buff. And since they saw them with wards, they're just going to trade them again, actually. Not really creating any action, but because they'd taken the turret, because they knew their own blue buff was getting stolen, they're going to be going for a dragon of themselves. 3 members of WE down here. I don't know if Froggen's going to be able to stop this all on his own. He might not even want to try.
No, he's just going to come down, get the vision. True Shot Barrage really just forces him away there. Across there, and that's going to be WE. Such crisp tactics. The fact that they did have that 2-man bottom lane, the fact they forced the 4-man down, everything was executed at perfect timing there, Joe.
Yeah, even that blue buff exchange allows World Elite to have more time on the Dragon, because at the end of the day, CLG then have to go and take their blue, which is completely the other side of the map. So a great play overall from World Elite. That leads them 11.1 to 9.3 thousand gold in the lead. That 1 tower in their favor. Overall, ahead in the CS, albeit the AD carry is starting to become that little bit more even once again. But Froggen doing a good job. He's in the lead in that middle lane.
And that's the biggest thing, that's the difference between these two games, is Yellow Pete is doing pretty well in lane. Xiaomei actually putting a lot of harass down, but he's went for Dorn's Blades this time instead of a Berserker's Greaves rush. And you can see Xiaomei getting a little bit hurt here. Whether they can hold on to this or not, though, because there's 3 members of WE coming up top, they might try to push this turret hard.
They're harassing back and forth, and you can see now that Wei Xiao is in that top corner. They managed to sneak their way in there. They've not given it away. Wei Xiao very stealthily got in there. The question is, are they going to expect it? Well, Mystic Shock comes across and misses onto Crepo. That pretty much gives the game away, but they are caught on. We are also seeing that Messiah's heading up north, and the team have to react to this one. We are seeing Froggen starting to head north.
They're really just doing this push again. They got the 2 outer turrets in the first game against CLG and snowballed that through. They've already taken a dragon, and we can really see CLG trying to react to this. There's a flash by WE.
Here we go. Shockwave actually missing, flashed away from, but they're right on top of them once again. Yellow Pete going low. There's the ultimate coming out of Wei Xiao. That will pick up Crepo. It's Messiah that takes down Yellow Pete, and they have 4 men in this top lane. Will Froggen and Snoopy go aggressive here to try and force them away? It looks to me like World Elite going to have this tower.
Just another set of coordinated plays by WE that were faster than CLG EU's ability to react to them. Even though they flashed away from the shockwave, there were just too many members of Team WE up there. Xiaomei, even though he's in that 1v2 lane, still managed 47 minion kills and still managed to actually have some harass down before that gank came, just allowing for another successful play. And with all that early pushing, that early gold is ballooning ahead of CLG EU. What do they have this game that changes from last game, or are we just going to see a repeat?
Are we going to see repeat? Indeed, that's the question. Needlessly large rod and Ninja Tabby for Oriana in that mid lane. So Messiah playing against his lane partner, but getting that needlessly large rod in so early on. 1-0-1. You can see just WE just quickly reacting straight away, switching around straight in towards the mid lane. CLG EU reacting to this one though. They're expecting it. They're expecting everyone to pile in towards mid, so they're going 4-man heavy in towards the mid lane.
This is potentially their counterplay. They're getting the mid turret down. All 5 members of EU down here right now. They saw Ezreal and Rengar off to the side. There's the move wall.
Yeah, Snoopy comes in there, will put the curse, and that is a kill coming out. Snoopy went low, but should be able to survive this one. And CLG picking up a 1-for-0 ultimate coming around. And, well, Wicked actually will pick up the kill on towards that turret. Good stuff.
Most importantly, they got the turret there, but now Xiaomei might be coming around the side to go into a fight. CLG able to just barely escape from that one. Still a pretty good trade, but because of how low they are, once the creeps get here for Team WE, they might just try to put right back onto the mid turret and trade him back.
Well, Crepo and Yellow Pete are sticking around along with Wicked. They should have enough to defend this one. It's going to be a 3v3 in this mid lane. They have managed to get their own first turret down, though. So 2-1 in turrets at the moment. That middle important turret taken down, though, by CLG EU. And more importantly for them, they did manage to get the kill on the mid lane to try and stop that snowball coming in. But you can see the pressure on towards the turret. They are going to clear the wave out once again. They have a lot of ability to stall out here, CLG, unshockingly. But you can see WE really persistent on this lane. They want to get this turret down.
You can see also that they do not, WE very, very persistent. There's a couple items coming out. Oracle's Elixir built on Snoopy. He hasn't built it yet, but because there's only a 3v5 in mid lane, ultimate being used by Wicked, really trying to stop this tower push. WE persistent, finally backing away. Good hold by CLG.
Yeah, fantastic hold there. In the meantime, Frog and me farming this top lane. Actually, Snoopy just pushed that bottom lane out somewhat as well. And this dragon coming up in not so long of a time, and CLG obviously after giving that last one away, going to get some wards down surely in that position. Actually, Snoopy just checking out there. There is that ward in there already. Clearlove does have the Oracle up as well, so I'm guessing we're going to see a bit of a power play around that dragon area coming up soon.
And Clearlove is getting really, really big already. Double GP10 and Ninja Tabby compared to Snoopy just having that 1 heart of gold. Froggen really trying to make something happen in the top lane as well. Waiting for Xiaomei to make some kind of commitment. He needs to start snowballing on Lee Sin because he's not going to be a crazy man late game with that mid to Lee Sin. Here it comes for Xiaomei up top.
There goes Froggen jumping on towards Xiaomei, but honestly you can see immediately Team WE responded to this one. Froggen realizing he hasn't got the damage, honestly, to deal with that one. Brutalizer being picked up by Xiaomei early on. We've been seeing him stacking a lot of hit points before, but going with that Brutalizer early on, it's going to give him that extra bonus damage. And
it's just a strategy thing here for Team WE. Some Rengars decide to go super tanky, but what we have seen from WE is almost the instant teamfight victories. And if you go aggressive with Rengar on that, he's going to be doing much more damage with those abilities when he goes in. They're going to try to combo it so well with the Orianna ultimate. And he's just, they're trying to win teamfights fast instead of over time, which might be why he's going for that early Brutalizer.
Well, we still have that 3,000 gold difference between these two sides. And overall, if we look down the CS, 74 to 58 between Rengar and Rumble. 80 carries 104 to 76 in the middle lane. Bang even, 4,500 to 3,900 though. You see the difference that that dragon, that first dragon pickup has made, plus the turrets as well. And Wilderly already getting themselves in position for this dragon.
They were all seen by that ward though. Clearlove not even coming around the right angle to clear this. We could very well see a fight here. All 5 members of both teams are here. It's going to be very tricky. WE not really wanting to get too much going. There's a lot of AoE on both sides. The Rumble goes down.
The Rumble goes in. You can see that's going to be the ball as well. They just all back away from it. It was taken away by Clearlove. He manages to get the dragon there. Do not want to fight this one, but CLG certainly do. They're caught towards Xiaomei. Not the strongest of targets. He can just poke and walk away from that one. The ball just coming around. Turson Sapnov, he's going to come out there. Shockwave follows it up. Wei Xiao taking down very low. Popped up, and again, no damage transferred. It's Xiaomei taking down very low. Xiaomei does get dropped, but Clearlove managed to take down Crepo. So it's a support for the top lane. A crescendo misses from FZZF. I think that's the first one of the tournament he's missed. And CLG disengaging. Happy to trade a support for a top laner.
Very tail end of that crescendo could have been doom for CLG EU, but because it was not just the dragon and a 1v1, support for top laner trade is nice, but they still lost the dragon. They're staying in this game a lot better than they were the last one though. 3 kills to 3, and the mid turret is giving them a lot of that map pressure back. The fact that Snoopy still has that Oracles is allowing them to control a bit of the roaming. It's Orianna this time instead of Evelynn, so at least Yellow Pete has a chance to keep up with Wei Xiao in farm. 107 to 90 across those 80 carries. Really avoiding team fights, though. A lot of disengaging going on there.
Yellow Pete trying to farm his way, as you said, back into this one. He does have Wei Xiao here giving him some pressure in the bottom lane, but to be honest, he could probably 1v1 him. There's a slow arcane shift away, but he not quite landing that final barrage. And, well, at least he's forced Wei Xiao away, and that will allow Yellow Pete to continue on his merry farming route. In terms of the items right now, that's a ward cleared out by Snoopy. Always getting the crowd up for it here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, do we have a bit of an engage up there? Yep, Froggen and Xiaomei actually going head-to-head, but as you said before there, Demon, maybe not the hugest amount of damage. Snoopy's actually going to get 3 wards in a row.
Nearly passed by him. Nearly passed by, but he does manage to get back in there. The crowd goes wild with the fact that those wards are killed. And, well, he just picked up 100 gold there straight away. That's paid for that Oracle, effectively.
We're really going to have to see how WE creates the next team fight, because with all those wards getting taken off by Snoopy and the Aegis of the Legion rushed by Clearlove, they would have an advantage if they have the right way to get the initiation going. So Clearlove also taking out a ward. Unfortunately, we missed it, so we didn't get the cheer in the bottom lane. It's just a farm out going here. Messiah in the mid lane, 134 to 123. Might have to wait for the next dragon since they haven't been able to push down that mid turret, and CLG doing a really good job holding it up.
So looking across the team comps, let's see how things are stacking up. We are at, what, 16, 17 minute mark, 3-3, pretty even in kills, 2-1 in turrets, no huge advantages garnered by either team, 3k gold, Jack. And as it stands, the farm pretty much even between the 2 AP carries, pretty much even between the 2 AD carries. The top laners are very even as well. The only big advantage seems to be Clearlove in the jungle. Oh, and there's a Rabadon's Death Cap.
And it's really just them starting to clump up towards the mid lane. Trinity Force did get completed by Wei Xiao, so that's kind of a power spike. You look at the item thresholds that's been reached, even though it's just that 3,500 gold advantage, with the Triforce, an Aegis, the Spear Visage, the Death Cap, you don't see that same level of legendary items on CLG EU coming out. So if WE can at all get a team fight here, they would have a really big edge in it.
Well, right now, World Elite just pushing this middle lane out. Clearlove doing a great job of clearing out wards up until now. And as I say that one, they walk over one that he hasn't managed to spot on his way. But they are going to try and get in onto that middle turret. We saw World CLG defending it 3 versus 5 earlier on. And they're going to be up against a 4 versus... What could be a 4 versus 4? Snoopy's actually around the edge of this one. You can see the AP carry just trying to push that middle lane completely out there, but they've got a decent wave clearing ability with the with Yellow Pete there and Wicked there as well, and World Elite back off. You
can really just see how much importance CLG is putting on this turret. They know that if they lose that mid turret, they'll probably lose control of the map, so that's why they're all clumping up around it every time WE looks to think about pushing that mid lane. It's been a really long time since we've seen the team fight here. Both these teams taking it a lot more cautious. WE reaching that 20-minute mark where they used to have trouble closing games, but that has not been the case this tournament. What are they going to do to turn it on to CLG here? Because it looks like CLG is just looking to hold mid, and WE is looking for action.
WE coming around there. Snoopy with the flash ultimate. It wasn't quite ideal, but he did manage to catch on towards Wei Xiao. Shockwave comes out, but Wei Xiao's already down, and CLG sniping him out there. Great engage. Flash ultimate is exactly what he wanted to do. Xiaomei at the top lane's farming it out. Down the bottom lane, we also have Wicked farming it out, but that was a good engage.
That was CLG just pouncing on an opportunity, which is something we haven't seen of them much in the past, really punishing WE for continually trying to get that mid turret. But when you burn that flash ult on Amumu, it gives you a large gap of time where you can't do anything again. Still 90 seconds left on that Amumu ultimate. Will WE try to make anything happen during that window, because the Orianna ult's going to be up before then? You know, everyone just stacking mid. It's almost like a modified ARAM that's happening here. So much importance going there.
Yep, and we talk often about the importance of the Amumu ultimate with his flash being up there. But I think in a game at this level, they'll quite happily take that one-man kill and then play a bit more defensive until they have that Amumu ultimate back into play. Currently, if we look down at the supports there's quite a big difference in CS being taken by Crepo. And actually, we talked to him about this the other day, and he said, as Zyra, I like to have that bit more CS. I like to be finishing round about the 50-60 CS mark at the end of the game. You can see there the goal difference between the two of them as we are going to go in bandage toss. Not quite connecting. Wei Xiao getting himself away, and they will stay safe again here, World Elite.
And what's happening during all this is they're actually trading Xiaomei farm for Yellow Pete farm, and this is a much better game for Yellow Pete. because he's gotten that stuff in the bottom lane, and because they saw Xiaomei up top, they could just be getting this dragon. They had the timer. WE got the last one. CLG making a big play there. Nice work.
Well, the True Shot Barrage comes just a little bit too late. Xiaomei continuing the pressure on the top lane. Yellow Pete's going to head him off, and they are going back towards that mid lane. Again, pings go down. They're WE really persistent trying to get this one, but CLG are just defending it so strongly, but slowly but surely it is dropping down there. There's the ball again coming in. They're trying to head them off, actually in the jungle just at the top there. Wicked just around the side with Clearlove, but I think it's finally time that that jungle, that turret will fall in the mid lane. There's not really a strongest defense, but no, it holds a little longer.
And we are eventually going to see another fight around her. Snoopy's ultimate is back up again. All 5 members of both teams are looking here. The turret's getting poked lower and lower, but they're afraid to kind of go in here. They're not in a big enough lead to try to dive a turret. It's actually close to 2.7 thousand here. Xiaomei just going back to farm a bit more. If it's a choice between getting Yellow Pete farm on Kog'Maw or Xiaomei farm on Rengar, you have to side with Yellow Pete's Kog'Maw farm. That's big stuff for them if they can keep this mid turret up.
Yeah, we talked about that power spike earlier on, which is now being pretty much negated. I mean, the advantage that Wei Xiao had to get into that Trinity Force position has now been completely taken away from him. Phantom Dancer finished on Kog'Maw, and that's all because they've allowed Yellow Pete to farm in his bottom lane. And that's one thing that, in my opinion, Jack, you just can't afford to do. When you've got the advantage over a Kog'Maw, you have to make sure that he's not in that lane, getting himself back in the game.
And this is something that CLG's done so well is the plan A of WE is to take that middle turret. And I don't know if they have a plan B right now because they just keep ramming their heads up against this middle turret and maybe getting themselves in trouble. They just continually try with all 5 members and they continually get pushed back by CLG. Let's see if someone starts a fight here because it's getting lower and lower.
It is getting lower, and you can see the turret almost gone. Clearlove just getting caught out. Snoopy's gone deep. The shockwave, though, is enough, and Snoopy gets taken down straight away by Xiaomei. Krepo in a desperate position. He gets dropped by Xiaomei as well. Xiaomei, you can see Yellow Pete, he desperately wants to get on towards Wei Xiao, but the rest of Team WE following behind. He should be able to complete the kill. While it happens, Xiaomei picks up the triple kill around the side. Lee Sin comes in. Froggen gets the kill down, and wow. A 3-for-2 exchange, a turret going down. You've got to think that Team WE came out to that for this one, but Froggen continuing to be chased here, Joe.
Yep, and there's the slow coming in as well. He could be in trouble, and he turns around, but here comes Xiaomei, and there will be the finisher. Rampage now for Rengar. That's 4 kills to put him up to 4-1-2.
So all that farming for Rengar prepared him for that fight. That's going to be very large for them. They finally got that middle turret down. Now the second one. That was CLG's final hold of the middle turret. It's a bit of a lead, and of course Kog'Maw just went bottom to farm off that. But this is now 4 turrets to 1. Global gold still stacking up for WE, and the team fight coordination showing through once again.
So CLG EU trying to keep them at bay. Can they pick up this bottom turret? I'm not too sure. Wei Xiao's desperately run down here. He should have enough to finish it off. He's going to step away and let the minions complete it. There we go. Minions will pick that up. It's going to be a kill. Messiah nearly getting caught out by the plants of Krepo there. And that's what he mentioned. You can see Snoopy going straight for the invade on towards Xiaomei. I'm not sure whether Messiah can fight this one. He's already been taken low. Snoopy's going to get around. Doesn't have his ultimate available. Doesn't really have the rest of the team to stack around, but he is going to try and invade and get the blue, try and steal as much as they can.
They just took the pressure. They knew WE hadn't shopped quite yet. Wei Xiao chasing down Yellow Pete. If he gets a Triforce proc, he's going to kill him.
Here we go. There is the arcade shift in there. There's the heel pull down. And here is Froggen from the side. Brilliantly baited by Yellow Pete. Froggen gets in there in time. Great kill for CLG.
Great moment coming in there, right? Jumping in at just the right moment, saving out Yellow Pete, and the farm continues to accumulate on Yellow Pete. Froggen with the 3 kills as well. They need to get control of this a bit again. Their ultimates need to combo very well, and if they can fight a fight on their terms as opposed to WE going at the right moment and deciding where it's going to be, like in that mid lane, then we might see something happen. They continually need to have Froggen for skirmishes because Lee Sin is not the best team fighter.
So 7-7 in kills, 4-2 in turrets. Fairly even game still, only about 3,000 gold advantage and a 30k gold. That team, that's not the biggest of advantages. Just a couple more turrets for CLG EU will certainly bring them back into it. WE, of course, with that advantage across the map. Ward clearance coming out from Clearlove. Nope, didn't go towards it. They don't have any wards out on the map, really, further in towards CLG's base. So Team WE just trying to accumulate as much gold as they can. And where is that gold advantage across the team here, Jack?
Yeah, and I have to say, Clearlove is turning into a monster right now. If you look at the total gold, he's got almost 8,000 gold. That's only 100 less than his AP carry in mid lane of Messiah. That's more than the junglers usually have, because you look to Snoopy, and he's almost 2,000 gold behind Clearlove. Cho'Gath's going to be a really, really big issue. So much of what CLG's team is just that team fight, having to kill everyone at once with the Zyra, Amumu, and Rumble outs going off. And when you have someone as tanky and as big as Cho'Gath and as tanky and as big as Rengar hopping into those fights, you might worry about the sustained battle. So really, even though it's 3,500 across the team, over half of that is on Clearlove's monstrous Cho'Gath.
What about the kill distribution here, Jack? I mean, you've got Froggen on Lee Sin 3-1-2. Surely when we get into this later game, he's going to become yet less and less useful when you compare him, especially to Messiah.
Froggen's actually getting caught out by 4 members. Let's see if he can get out of this one.
Well, he's going to have to use Safeguard to try and get across to the minions. He has been exhausted. Shockwave comes down. He's ticking around, realized he was a dead man, and that means the rest of the team, WWE, are going to push straight up towards that in the turret. You can see Salmai can keep him wicked busy on the top lane. CLG are going to have to give up on this one. You can see that they're just not anywhere near it. They're sticking down the mid. The Yellow Pete actually thought about trying to put pressure on towards that inner turret, but realized he's probably going to lose the inhibitor.
Yeah, and Clearlove just getting the turret tank. Look at Xiaomei up top against Wicked Pops Ignite. There's the kill.
Xiaomei takes down Rumble there. We did switch away from it, but Xiaomei actually might get caught out here. Krepo's trying to delay him. Here comes Yellow Pete around the side. It is a revenge kill from Yellow Pete. They did lose another inner turret though, so WWE gaining every advantage from these fights.
9 kills to 8, but 5 turrets to 2 are really the story in this game. And the Dragon up at just the right moment. They know Wicked's down. They know Yellow Pete is top to farm, so they can take yet another clear Dragon. And with 5 turrets now, it's on them to start forcing around Baron, start really taking control of CLG's jungle, and try to find ways to just corral CLG and get Yellow Pete away from farming. Because if anything's going to carry CLG through this, it's going to be a very fed Yellow Pete.
Yep, Yellow Pete racking them up here. May even get a good amount of damage onto this top tower. There's no one really to stop him. I guess we may see a true shot barrage come across when Wei Xiao has that on cooldown in just a couple of seconds. But Yellow Pete is going to be able to drop that turret, and that will be a nice bit of play coming out of him for CLG. So let's have a look at the gold, how it stands now, 41.3 to 37.3. Nice lead for Team World Elite. Still, they're ahead in the kills, they're ahead in the towers, so everything going to plan for them. If you look at the individual gold there, which is now gone off my screen, so there we go. 9.3 to 8.6, those middle laners. The AD carries 8.2 for Ezreal, but look at Yellow Pete again, 8.9. He's now taken the lead in the goal, and that is a big thing, considering how Kog'Maw gets stronger and stronger how the game goes.
And this is actually the first game this tournament, or even the first game in my recent memory, that Wei Xiao isn't the AD carry that's the strongest in one of these games. 1 for 4 versus 4 for 1, and there's been so much of CLG having all 4 members grouped up and Yellow Pete off in the side farming. And when WE does the same thing, it's Xiaomei in the top lane, and Wei Xiao just isn't getting the free farm that he normally gets deferred to by the rest of his team. It's going to be an interesting thing to see how WE deals with that, because they're very used to Wei Xiao being the optimal AD carry.
The dance back and forth continues, but you've got to feel that CLG EU, they have to commit to the next advantage. They've taken all of the outer turrets now, so next turret they get will be an inner. They need to force the fight for that one. As it stands, you can see WE already taken those 2 inners. They're just continuing to put the pressure down. Every time they want to force a fight, they seem to be winning out it. And CLG EU, as you mentioned, is getting stronger with Yellow Pete. Oh, Wicked getting caught out here. Wei Xiao going to get onto the Rumble, just about avoided with the shield there. Has to pop his ultimate down. Krepo just comes around. True Shot Barrage did miss, but it's going to give WWE the advantage. They're going to push up towards the top. Meanwhile, Salmei continues to push the bottom, Joe.
Yeah, pushing himself in there. There's 4 men pushing that top. How does CLG split off from this one? And I think this is a decent idea. Yellow Pete will be able to quickly clear out in this bottom lane. They're going to lose this inner turret in the top, and Snoopy gets shockwaved in there. He's going to go down, and that is a big thing out of the fight now for CLG, and that's going to allow World Elite to keep pushing. Kog'Maw is still down at the bottom lane, having to deal with Xiaomei and his push with Rengar, and you can see chasing him down there. Rengar just backs away and says, well, that's job done. We've pushed through the top. Inhibitor's going to go down, and they have to move in, and surprise, surprise, Rengar is coming back in the bottom lane.
So at the moment, you can see back in towards the top there. There is going to be Yellow Pete caught on towards Glidov. Krepo gets in there, uses a Zhonya's Hourglass on the support there. Does manage to bait Messiah, but Messiah turning around into a kill. They need to pick up as much advantage as they can. If they can get some kills, they could try and force the Baron, but they just can't stop them. And you can see Xiaomei continuing the pressure on towards that bottom inhibitor. They've got to deal with him. Snoopy's going down there. CLG desperately trying to track down the last members of WE, but Xiaomei continues on this turret and will be forced to back away by Snoopy.
This is the continual pressure of WE just really taking over the game. They got the inhibitor, but since all of them shop, this is the desperation move by CLG EU. There's no wards in this area, but ClearLove knows something is up. He's gonna try to go in. They're peeling him off the Baron. I think they may have stopped. They're going for a kill though.
They're going to pick up this kill onto ClearLove. He's not going to be able to survive that one. That could have been a big thing. I mean, if he'd have got around the top side, there's no one really better at stealing that Baron than a Choga flashing in there for the knock. But down at the bottom, Xiaomei here going head-to-head with Snoopy. Snoopy's used his ultimate, but he doesn't care. He's going in for the turrets. He will flash away. I think as he realized that CLG had started to peel off, and he doesn't want to go down. But a fantastic job done by the top laner of World Elite. And he's not finished yet. He's pressure, pressure, pressure.
So a flurry of events going down here, and Xiaomei trying to just make it away. Might see a bit of a slowdown here as Snoopy clears out his blue buff, or they might go in for a steal. They do have this area warded up. They do have the inhibitor down in the top lane, so the pressure needs to stay up for WE here, lest they just let CLG EU get more farm onto Yellow Pete's Kog'Maw. The Baron Force could well be happening since they have the inhibitor down, and that split push seems to be their plan with Xiaomei. He's just running out the bottom lane once again, probably going to try to make it all the way up, maybe finish off that top turret and expose their second inhibitor of the game. That seems to be the plan that WE is going with.
Well, the top turret down, obviously the bottom turret very low as well, almost gone on that inhibitor turret. So Xiaomei did a fantastic job there, completely caught really CLG in two minds. They didn't understand how to actually fight against it. Now it's about whether they can catch someone out. You've got to feel that Yellow Pete, as strong as he is, he just needs to get involved in the team fight. He wasn't in that team fight until very late. Once he got in there, they did manage to pick up the kills, but Xiaomei is keeping them so busy in this top lane. You can see pushing again. RCLG maybe going to try and drive an advantage, maybe drive through the middle, although you can see Lee Sin already having to go off and deal with Xiaomei.
And you can really see the way that WE is building and playing the game. They're trying to avoid the team fight comp of CLG EU, and WE always screams out before fights. We're on a 30-second delay. Something big is about to happen because I just heard a scream from WE. I'm not predicting all these fights just right. They're all going for Baron as the split push happens.
Baron started off here by World Elite, down to half HP, less than half HP. As Snoopy around the back, World Elite know he's there. They've got that ward down at the back of that Baron pit, and they don't. They're scared of finishing this one off for the steal. Snoopy actually gets in there. Baron not going to go down just yet. There is a crescendo coming out. There is a shockwave as well, and he gets one of them, gets two of them in there. It was Snoopy who went down first, but Froggen is on the scene. He's taken one kill. He's let ClearLove get away. They turn around onto Wei Zhao, and they are going to survive with a double kill, a triple kill coming out of Lee Sin.
And
but
Xiaomei
he's still pushing.
Xiaomei in the top lane, still pushing everyone on CLG trying to get back. He's actually going in for some of the Nexus turrets. They're going to make it back in time. They can't get the Baron buff. Will he get it? Oh, he backs away. And wow, that was a whole bunch of action.
A whole bunch of action. You can see actually Froggen's going to try and pick up the Dragon. He's going to solo that one out. So Froggen picking up the triple kill in there, and Yellow Pete surviving just about. Very close fight, but again, you know, Snoopy got in there. He didn't get a chance to use Curse of the Sad Mommy. He was shockwave, controlled, crescendo. Didn't even get a chance to pop his ulti, and that's two fights running that's happened. He's been taken out of the game so quickly, but Xiaomei forcing the advantages.
And considering that was a 4v5, that was a pretty good fight for Xiaomei. He's actually going in on a Froggen. They might draw a little bit here in the jungle.
Interesting 1v1 coming up with this one, and I think in the end they both realize we're not going to really do anything there. It's a bit of a face-bashing competition between Rengar and Lee Sin in that position. And, well, Dragon is taken up, yeah, obviously.
Froggen actually soloed it after all of the chaos had just happened. So 7-2 Froggen, so many of those kills taken onto him. The big thing about this though is there are 2 fallen inhibitors for CLG EU, which essentially means they need someone on full-time duty clearing out that base if they want their Nexus turrets to stay alive, which means the Oracle's clear of Team WE right now. Getting that Baron buff clear, it's going to be tricky for CLG to stop this since they cannot commit all 5 members for quite some time here.
You saw Lee Sin poking there. I tell you what, if that Q would have landed, he would have followed that and killed him and got out just in time. Didn't have a ward though, so he couldn't have stepped away with a ward. Maybe wouldn't have avoided it. Top inhibitor respawn. That signals that CLG EU, once they've cleared out this next conga line of super minions that's coming along the top, they will have a little bit of freedom in there. And you can see that Messiah and co already realized that. They're going to try and put the pressure down. Team WE, we're getting into that long period of time now, 34 minutes. We talked about it before, how they didn't realize how to finish games once they got in these late team fights. They seem to be starting to stall a little.
But the thing with that is they got both inhibitors open. They're going for a Baron right now. They know they have CLG corralled in this lane. You can tell they have a plan. I don't think they're actually stalling out. This is all according to plan. Rengar actually going for a bit of a backdoor, making sure people have to peel off, either guaranteeing this Baron or a team fight. That's a Baron because of the split push pressure by Xiaomei.
And they're going to go towards Xiaomei. Yellow Pete doesn't manage to catch the slow on him, and he even escapes it as well, Xiaomei. We saw some absolutely godlike escapes from him. He's like the escape to victory as he gets away. And Joe, it's looking like WE are going to stomp straight through towards that top inhibitor.
Yeah, they're going straight through there. Snoopy actually up in that top lane needs to be careful because he will go for him. Shockwave and Crescendo. He is a dead man, and again, Curse of the Sad Mummy not going to be available to defend this base, and World Elite may just look to clear out this game here and right now.
It is a 4v5, however. They might just go for the third inhibitor and guarantee a victory. They have so much pressure down, and look at this coordination. Froggen going in for kick.
Going in straight away, manages to separate Wei Xiao, but Wei Xiao, it's Messiah that does manage to separate. Oh, he's landed the Q again, but it doesn't matter because he's going to focus so heavily. The focus is split all across the map. Xiaomei gets in once again. Messiah manages to pick up a kill on Froggen. Everybody in double E very low. Wei Xiao gets taken down by Wicked there. Now they're going to try and turn it. If Yellow Peak can land the slow, it will be enough maybe to take down Messiah. Just one shot, does manage to pop the ultimate down. Hasn't quite got the range. One more ultimate. There's the ultimate from Yellow Peak. Can they chase it out? They're trying to get on towards it, but everybody from W backs away. They have to defend the base.
Brilliant hold by CLG EU, but it is so difficult to hold. They got two members of WE to lose the Baron buff. And look, Xiaomei actually just getting caught by Yellow Pete. The chase continues.
And this is the danger about this Kog'Maw. He's going to go straight in there, but he's out of mana here, which may change things. His auto attack's pretty damn strong, and actually he's going to let Xiaomei go there. Obviously couldn't see him as he popped his ultimate, and he's pretty much happy, I'm guessing, with that one. The kill that he got earlier on as well onto Messiah will really boost him in that one. He's actually 5-1-8 now, and 50 CS almost into the lead. And that's how things have really changed around. Picking up, obviously, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, got that Guardian Angel in there. That's optimum position for this Kog'Maw.
And we may be approaching the final fight of the game here. You can see WE is prepping to all go in together. They're waiting for Messiah to get rezzed up. They have a red elixir purchased onto Wei Xiao. They're going for some kind of final push. CLG trying to get as much done before that happens, getting the blue buff now onto Yellow Pete so he can spam those Rs over and over in the team fight and make sure his W is up more frequently for him. That's more important to them than getting it onto Snoopy or Crepo. Let's see how this last fight goes, because it's going to be so difficult with two inhibitors down, having to deal with two waves of super minions while holding the middle turret. Let's see how CLG does it when it eventually happens.
Well, while these super minions are continuing to chug through, CLG quite happily picking up all the farm. They are still only 4k gold behind. Yes, it's 8-3 in turrets, but actually that's a lot of farm for CLG. You can see Froggen picking up yet more damage. We can see that Yellow Peak going back, picking up yet more damage, building towards that last Whisper. Wicked defending out towards against Xiaomei here. He's not too worried about the rest of the team. They go visible in the mid lane, so it's just a case of holding them off. Yellow Pete actually coming across towards Xiaomei. Now the rest of CLG rotate round, just defend off this middle turret. They desperately need this middle turret to hold. They got to try and deal with Xiaomei. Xiaomei, though, full hit points on the side. Now Yellow Pete's going to come across. Xiaomei's getting free roam on towards that middle inhibitor.
And this is just another one of those epic holds in the mid lane by CLG EU. The top inhibitor is up, so they don't have to deal with two waves of super minions. It's just one. How are they going to get through this? CLG is so good at keeping the plant line up. Wicked spamming the lane back. WE just needs one moment to go in. All the ultimates are up. They're not really waiting on any flashes. Pretty much all flashes are up across the board, aside from Messiah and Xiaomei. And it's just Wicked back in base, trying to hold that inhibitor. The split push coming from Xiaomei, Yellow Pete keeping him off. This is very tense. Really, a fight could break out at any moment.
Yep, that final fight could come at any stage of this one. There we go, Snoopy going in. Shirley's actually popped there to Crescendo. They're all going to get knocked up there. There's the Rumble ulti as well. And the disengage comes in on the side. We see Xiaomei constantly pushing in here. But he wasn't with his team. He's now going to try and get himself away. Yellow Pete knows that he doesn't really have to chase. He's done his job on this side. And, well, we lost Wei Xiao. But are we going to see any more? Wow, that was an interesting flash coming out of Wicked.
That's the big thing that stopped them from going there. If anyone would have died but Wei Xiao, they could have continued the push. He is what they need to finish off that mid turret. The Dragon now getting taken by WE. second inhibitor might actually be coming up very shortly for them. The Baron buff has actually just gotten gone on everyone on Team WE. So the hold by CLG EU, they did it. They're only down 4,000 gold. Their inhibitors are going to be coming up again soon. They can make it to the next team fight. That was a very tense moment, but I think they're out of the woods. Now it's on WE to find another way to finish because that plan didn't work.
Well, more importantly, Snoopy needs to get that Curse of the Sad Mommy off. The last few times we've had that big important team fight, when he lands it, they get a kill. If he gets controlled quickly, which Team WE are very, very fast at doing, he gets taken out of the game, gets deleted. But we've not yet seen a team fight with Salmei involved. He's just been off solo farming every step of the way. He's so tanky right now that really nobody can deal with him. Granted, he's probably not going to do massive amounts of damage, but if he actually gets stuck on towards Yellow Pete, it's going to be a tough fight.
I'll tell you though, nothing can deal with the late game Kog'Maw with how many items he has. Even though you have a Randuin's Omen and a Chain Vest, how much armor is he actually sitting at? 212, that's not enough to deal with Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and a GA surprisingly tanky that Yellow Pete's going to be when Xiaomei takes him down. That 1v1 is definitely going to Yellow Pete. They're still trying the split push. I think they're just trying to stall out until they can take yet another free Baron and just try this round again. But they had 2 dead inhibitors with the Baron buff and couldn't push it. They're going to have to win some kind of team fight if CLG tries to stop the Baron.
Well, we see the ward's being pulled out. That was Shirelia's popped by FZS.
It was Shirelia's pop there.
Yeah.
That was definitely
obviously wanted to get that ward out really, really quickly.
Oh,
Krepo could get caught out here. Ultimate goes down. It's going to knock Clearlove up in the air, but to be honest, he's so tanky that it really won't make that much of a dent on him. World Elite there, they have full vision, full control of that Baron pit. What is their next move? Currently pushing right up this middle. All 3 inhibitors are there. You can see the Super Minions coming in towards this top lane, and they're going to try and get down. There is the root coming in onto Clearlove, and again, it's a similar thing.
This is one of those big things. They're still poking down, even though without the Baron buff here, Snoopy actually gets a bandage and decides not to go in. They may just be holding off until they can get a Baron. One big item per point, almost 100 minion kills onto Krepo. He's got his on his hourglass. He's working on a death cap, so they almost have 5 real champions here. Turret continuing to get pushed down.
They're going to have to go in. The Shockwave catches on towards 3 members, and there goes the True Shot Barrage coming back across. Yellow Pete was aloft off the side though. FCZF going down. He picks up the double kill, comes in. Salmei tries to go deep, but he's getting shredded down by Yellow Pete once again. One more shot would be enough. Instead, they're going to turn it around. It's Wei Zhao. They're tracking down. Froggen is on him. He's tracking through, but no, he's baited. He's gone towards a ward. He's just going to back away. You got 2 members actually. Looks like they're desperately rushing across. They've got to go back. They've got to defend this turret. Wei Zhao's going to try and sneak around. He's going to get tracked by Froggen every step of the way. Wicked defending off the turret, misses the Q, and Wei Zhao, has he been touched by anyone? That's the question. Well, he will do, bound by Wicked. There goes the damage. Wei Zhao's going to get dropped. They've run into the Baron Jab.
So now, with that hold, they've gotten 4 members. WE overcommitted trying to get that turret. Is this the hold with 2 inhibitors down, able to come back in this? They're going to get this Baron. Yellow Pete shredding for too much damage. He shredded everyone on WE that fight. Even though the Shockwave landed on 3 members of CLG EU, the AoE damage from everyone there was able to come through. They didn't even lose, no, they did lose the top inhibitor creeps, but that'll be okay. They fought 2 inhibitors off without Baron. Now it's just 1, and they have it.
43 minutes, 20 seconds into the game, and look at that gold difference. It's absolutely nothing at this stage of it. Kills, obviously, it's still in favor of CLG, and Yellow Pete is just looking so strong. And check this out. They are waiting here. They are trying to bait them in. There's no vision whatsoever for World Elite. And he is surely going to come in. There's the ball, but Messiah going to go down. Or his Guardian Angel. Sonya's popped at the last second there. I thought it was actually Guardian Angel before I looked at his item list. He popped it at a good time, but still, it didn't really make that much of a difference.
So 44 minutes in now, it's almost like new life for CLG EU. You can just look down the minion kills now. 320 for Froggen, 340 for Yellow Pete. And in this 50-second death timer, if Wicked can push out that top lane far enough, they would be able to siege something down in the mid lane and actually take some aggression here. It's just so difficult with an inhibitor down to pop aggression on the other team. They might just have a 4v4, but with Wicked roaming, they're going to look to make something happen. It has to be fast, though, with no inhib up top.
Well, they're coming, poking around. Curse of the Sad Mommy is available if they were to go for it. They could possibly try and jump in. You can see Snoopy just off at the side has got Flash available as well. So Flash Ultimate is not beyond the realms of possibilities here. And they do manage to catch on towards the inner turret. It's going to be 8-4 in terms of turrets now. Advantage WE, but still CLG starting to push through here, Joe. They're going to make a move on towards the inhibitor turret.
They're going to make a move. They're going to keep pushing this one down. I'm not sure that World Elite can really afford to get in there, especially with that Snoopy ultimate in position. Here is the inhibitor being focused. ClearLove actually getting in there for the silent. Xiaomei on this side does have that Guardian Angel now finished. Are they going to try and get in, or is it a case of forcing them away?
So Messiah was able to res, and that's why they decided to back away. They don't want to have a 5v5, even though they have the Baron buff. Still respecting Team WE's power. They realize that if they lose a team fight, since they have exposed inhibitors and Nexus turrets, they would lose the game. They're charging up mid as fast as possible. CLG EU is actually a little bit split up. WE might take this all the way through and get that middle turret. Let's see if they force a fight right here. This is dangerous for WE and CLG both.
So they're coming straight in. That turret is going to go down. There's not a lot of damage on it. And there you go. Can they get on towards the inhibitor? The rest of the team coming around the side. Yellow Peak closing around. He's actually on towards Xiaomei. And you can already see the damage shredded. Crepo's doing as much as he can to dissuade him. Puts the Zhonya's hourglass down. Crepo gets dropped, but they're going to take Xiaomei down. Yellow Pete still with the protection. That's going to be the Guardian Angel prop. Froggen just jumping around, trying to keep them away. Yellow Pete from the side. Kirsten Sabmomi pops. Messiah goes down. He gets the bandage toss down again. And they are going to turn the advantage in their way. They have to back off, though. They have to defend
Nexus
the
turret. Went down.
The Nexus turret's gone down. They've got super minions in there. Wicked's desperately trying to get back and defend it. And you can see it's already down to half, Joe. And they're just picking up the advantages.
A crazy, crazy fight from that one. Wicked, as you said, has to go back. Wei Xiao actually stealing away the blue buff. And Jack, I want to hear your opinion on that one because I was watching very closely where the Orianna ball was. Messiah had put it on Sei and Xiaomei. He was actually in the middle of 3 of them, and he didn't use his ultimate.
That could have just been too chaotic of a team fight for them. Even then, they came out a little bit on top there. Since CLG had the Baron buff, they just ensured that they have the pressure advantage here. 3 exposed inhibitors on CLG, one of them still down in the top lane, compared to just 1 exposed inhibitor on Team WE's side. So even though they're down in kills, they're down in gold, they're substantially up in pressure. And in a game that's this long, this late, with this much gold going on, anytime we get a clean team fight win for either team, it's going to be over.
And CLG EU, for the first time in this game with the gold lead, I feel, 24 kills to 15. It's all been about the kills, but 10-5 in turrets. Just 1 more remaining for CLG. Their base is just so open. If they were to not even so much lose a team fight hard, if they were just to lose 1 or 2 members, it would pretty much be over for them, but they have to get a strong fight against WE here. The Baron buff now wore off, so the advantage gone with CLG. Can they turn it in a straight 1v1 fight? Looking at the items, everybody's got complete items here, Jack.
There is a big power difference, though, between Yellow Pete and Wei Xiao. 2 and 8 versus 8 and 1. That's a 6-item cog. The most scary 6-item AD carry in the game, whereas Wei Xiao still sitting on a health potion, also with a QSS instead of a Guardian Angel. And here we go, CLG pushing up the mid lane with everyone. But Xiaomei sneaking around with an Oracle, so he knows if he gets seen by wards or not. Gonna try to clear off this inhibitor. This could be a base racer. CLG's gonna have to go back right away.
Doing as much damage as they can here, World Elite, but that inhibitor is going to fall. Xiaomei is up there as well, and he is, that inhibitor spawned on him. That's not the ideal situation, but he's gonna take it out, and CLG starting to back away. I think they realize that they can't keep going with this one. See them portaling back. Froggen stopped from getting home there, and that's gonna take them a little bit more time to get back around. Xiaomei is now on that turret. He's actually gonna do a lot of damage into it here. As Wicked puts his ultimate down, Xiaomei will actually flash away, and he wants to escape with his life here. Otherwise, that's going to leave World Elite for quite a long time after such a long time of the game in a 4 versus 5. There's a flash from Wicked. He is coming in. Yellow Pete's coming around the side as well. He shouldn't be escaping from this one. There's the ulti shot down, and will they finish off? He's popped the ulti. Here come the rest of World Elite, Demon.
They're coming around the side, and it's going to be cleared up. The shockwave comes down. It takes Crepo down. Snoopy now in all sorts of trouble. Snoopy's going to get dropped as well. This is turning tragic now. Wicked is going to get dropped. Yellow Pete cannot avoid the damage here. He turns around. It's a double kill for Messiah. Froggen trying to do as much damage as he can. Yellow Pete gets in. He realizes he knows to take Messiah, but he can't get on him because he's used the Zhonya's. He's got him down. Messiah's down. FCTF is down. Froggen's catching on towards cleared up. It is a 2v1 left. What have they got standing? They've got a base. They've got minions in the base. Can they turn any advantage, Jack?
Froggen saved that one. He got onto Wei Xiao and finished him off. It allowed Yellow Pete to snowball through the rest of his fight with that giant 6-item Kog'Maw. But because so many people have died, that is not a clear fight victory for either team. And because it was on CLG's side of the base, I think they're going to respawn in time to defend against that. It's 1 inhibitor down for both teams, however. And Holy crap, 50 minutes in, still no clear winner at all. Crazy team fights, crazy execution, and man, if Yellow Pete goes down, the game is over, but Wei Zhao consistently getting assassinated by Froggen, that's what's keeping CLG in this.
This is just an absolutely insane game. After match 1, exactly what we wanted, to be honest with you. We're hitting the 50-minute mark in this one, 50 minutes long. Something that we've come to expect from CLG, I have to say as well, at the same time. But let's take a look at the gold, which, I don't know, we're at that stage of the game, Jack, where it doesn't really matter anymore. Everyone's hitting their final builds.
So looking at the total gold really doesn't do you any good here. It's looking at who's hit max items and what that max item build looks like. So with this Baron buff coming up, could potentially add to that as max items. Everyone on W is not in position. This is going to be a CLG Baron.
This is a CLG Baron. You can see WE desperately defending their base, so CLG had the timing, had it perfectly down, and they will pick up Baron. Xiaomei again, trying to make his way through that bottom lane. Can he get in, assassinate that bottom turret? The question is, will he have a base to return to?
They've been trying this split push for the past 20 minutes, and it hasn't really worked, so he has to back. They realize that CLG has Baron, and they can't withstand one more push. Again, they're going with this split push, though, so we can't talk about items because he's going for the base. That's an exposed
He's got a GA.
Nexus turret. He's got a GA. He might just try to tank this turret straight up. At this point, it would be on Team WE to stop everyone from CLG from backing.
His ulti.
They have to get up.
He's
they have to get up to stop CLG.
Ultimate going in. Xiaomei is on the tower. He is on the tower as they take down the other one at the other side there, CLG. They are backing. Let's get back over towards Xiaomei as they are going to stop them from backing as long as possible. The fight is going to kick off. Froggen is in there. Let's have a look at the base. We need to see that turret. Xiaomei is taking it low. He's going to get his GA popped here actually as Rumble comes in there. Xiaomei will now back off. A crazy, crazy situation, Demon.
And the rest of CLG now, they can push on. They've realized they managed to force him back. Wicked managed to get back there. The rest of CLG are sticking around, so they're going to try and push that advantage. Yellow Pete again. The amount of damage coming out from Wei Zhao as well is enough to hurt Yellow Pete. He has to avoid that damage, but Wei Zhao, so sneaky. Xiaomei getting in towards that base, using the Rengar ultimate. Jat, how the heck is this one going to pan out?
It's looking like it's reset a little bit almost. They repelled that near game-ending try by WE. Again, a thing that could have won WE a game is barely held off by CLG. He didn't actually clear any inhibitors for that, though, so CLG is going to have all 3 of their inhibitors up pretty soon. The main thing that accomplished is it stalled the CLG EU Baron. It's almost half gone now. They didn't have a straight-up team fight between the two, and now we can finally take a look at some of these 6-item builds that are coming out. Wicked is almost there. The Will of the Ancients is really helping him out because, surprisingly, Lee Sin benefits a whole bunch from Spellvamp. Snoopy's not even close to 6 items, in all honesty. He still has to sit on wards, as does Crepo. Otherwise, they just wouldn't have map vision.
And while that worked out, you know, they pushed that top lane, so they see the big top stack. That's going to buy time for that inhibitor to do, and that was the only lane that the super minions were going to come up. So, team builds, wow. Huge items across the board. You can see GA is starting to stack out. It's going to be, obviously, Yellow Pete's got one on him now. Froggen's got one on him. Looking across at the other team, you can see that Messiah's now got one on him. They're all available. Obviously, we saw Xiaomei with one. That didn't get popped at all either in there. Looking across at the supports. Support's very different. Rabadon's Death Cap on Crepo and Azonia's Hourglass. He's got a lot of AP. He's
been working on that for a while. It's one of those things when they play support Zyra, they give him free minion kills so he gets the GP10 early, and that's a full champion now. Like, that is another AP carry that they can add to their repertoire when they go in for these fights. And looking across to FZZF, this is one of the things WE does. They make FZZF by almost all the wards. This is a surprise that he's managed to make it to a Zeke's Herald. Everyone grouping up around the top except for Yellow Pete and Wicked. This is going to be for WE. If they could somehow pick something, they'd be good. But CLG knows the danger, and they're backing off.
Backing off again. This game just balancing on a knife edge right now. One wrong footing. One bit too much of over-aggression, and you can end up losing this game for your team. The perfect calls, the calls have to be spot on now. A wrong call, even if it's just a slight mistake, could mean the difference between victory and a loss. As we see Xiaomei, this time with Wei Zhao headed up towards, and this, I'm not sure this is the best idea for World Elite, Jack.
This is going to be the game right here. If they can get both these people up here, Xiaomei has the oracles. He'd have to go in before Wei Zhao. I don't know if they can make it in time. They realize Rengar's running through the wards, but as soon as Ezreal gets spotted, he just got seen. Everyone on CLG is going to have to go back, and they spotted it clean. This isn't going to work.
Actually, they're not. They're canceling it. They realize they backed off. You know, I don't know. Honestly, CLG against the 3, do you think they've got enough to just power through? If they catch that ultimate in the right place, eliminate these 3, they could do it before the Wei Zhao gets back there.
They might be able to, but that is such a huge risk to take at this point. This is a move that they're not 100% sure how to prepare for. Wicked is going back as 1, and they're trying to push with 4. They're going for a free inhibitor, then they might end up backing off. But again, Xiaomei going for that exposed inhib, and Ezreal. Are they going to try to stop them from going back? There's the Reverie. Here it comes.
Wicked has gone back, and you can see Wei Xiao straight on towards that turret, and Yellow P is going to have to go back and defend this one. CLG trying their best. Actually, that true shot barrage nearly landed. Can they get on towards the turret? They're actually doing damage on towards the turret. Wicked's going to get taken low. Wei Xiao on towards Wicked. Yellow P is back. He gets in time. Has he got enough to burn down Xiaomei? He's got the slowdown on him. He's got that red buff. One more shot should do it. No, he didn't pop the GA. He got away with it with murder. I do not believe it. Inhibitor down, and that was all the trade. He does still manage to catch the eyes on him.
CLG, though, is cornering in around him. The Baron buff is gone, but they are collapsing, and he's trying to get him with those barrage shots, but everyone else on CLG might come in and mop the floor with these guys.
He's pinging, he's being pinged every time there, and CLG coming around the side. Wei Xiao taken down by Froggen. There's the root. Xiaomei gonna have his Guardian Angel taken down. They'll keep right on top of him. He's not escaping that one. Yellow Pete takes that, but Clear Love is trundling his way up the middle.
70-second death timers for WE right here, and they're abandoning their base. They're again going for a backdoor because they know if CLG had 5 members, they could push right up. Wicked's went back to defend, and Shogath is actually going up for this, but because they're keeping Wicked back as kind of that center fielder, just stopping anything from going back, the safety, CLG might be able to push through an end here. Oh, Froggen!
Froggen getting caught, but he has got a GA in his Messiah. You can see how quickly he can burn him, delete him from the map. Oh, Curse of the Sandmon popped. Is it too early? Catches on towards Messiah. The damage coming back up. Now they're going to go flash on. Crepo getting aggressive, popping the ultimate. It's caught out, but Crepo goes down. They're going to turn straight on towards the Nexus turrets. They are going to put the damage down. Have they got enough? No, they can't even get the one Nexus turret down because FCZF and Clear Love are back there. Now they're reeling, they're backing off. They realize their death timers are so high. Oh, and they've turned it back around. They've got FCZF. Snoopy gets the killer on towards Messiah. He's got the GA still, but he's going to get the Zonyas. Oh, they've got super minions coming in behind. They're going to go towards Messiah. The GA has been popped. Joe, they're going to actually try and push through this one.
Messiah coming back up here, and he's going to go aggressive. Lee Sin just getting away with hardly any health on World Elite. Going to turn around again. There's a rupture, actually missing the true shot barrage as well. And World Elite have held on until their AD carry gets back into the fray. And now Wei Xiao may just decide to take Froggen from the side. He's taken down Messiah. They're going to chase him in. The turret doing good damage. And there's Xiaomei jumping in just before he dies to the turret. And I tell you what, CLG aren't safe in this position.
This is very dangerous.
They're getting chased down. Clear Left might be able to catch Snoopy here.
He's caught out to him, and he's going to get the rupture and the silence. Isn't enough. He manages to get the feast down on him, and that's going to beat Snoopy in all sorts of trouble. Yellow Pete's desperate trying to run it. Wei Xiao turns on towards Wicked. Wicked has to use the flash. He's trying to lead them away from Yellow Pete. They realize he has to defend it, but Team WE, they're going to push straight up mid.
Wicked might be able to go for the base here because they're losing a Nexus turret as well due to the super creeps. WE is, there's 40-second death timers left on Froggen, 54 on Snoopy. They're going to try to get more inhibitors, and the big thing, they have their 80 carry alive. So does Yellow Pete. Again, back and forth. Are they going to be able to push through an end here?
Yellow Pete got that GA still available for him as well. There's the inhibitor taken down on World Elite, backing away. Yellow Pete and Crepo may want to try and chase them, stop them backing as quickly as they can here. And Wei Xiao actually taking damage. There's the Rumble ultimate. He is going to arcane shift out, but will he be able to escape? The range on that Cogmore ultimate is absolutely insane. In the end, Yellow Pete doesn't chase out, and we stop and have, well, I don't know how long of a breather.
We might not have much of a breather here because there's death timers, and Clear Love sees the Baron is up. They know that they have the numbers advantage, and neither team wants to win a terrible team fight, but this Baron could very well swing things. Crepo's trying to ward over the side. He sees it with the plant, but because they have a numbers disadvantage, and again, Xiaomei looking to backdoor, Lee Sin holding, this is going to be non-stop until it ends.
Well, the Baron's going to be given across the WE, so that is another Baron down. 58 minutes gone into this game, and they are desperately defending their base. They have no inhibitors standing as far as I can see. No, they've got the one at the top. That saved them because that would mean the double super minions coming in there. It does keep them off guard for a little while, but CLG back to that super stalling moment. They have to defend the base for another 4 minutes Baron.
And the split pushing has just stalled this so much. We're now 59 minutes in. I don't think we've had a chance to breathe in the last 9 minutes. The Dragon coming out for WE. And honestly, Yellow Pete of CLG needs to stop farming. He has 23,000 total gold. He was sitting on 4,500 before he just sold out his boots for Mercury Treads, knowing he needs to be able to avoid that CC sometimes. And it's just, we don't know who's going to win these team fights, because I think if there was a straight-up 5v5 clash, CLG EU would have it, but because CLG has so much base missing with 2 exposed inhibitors, they can never get that, especially with the way Xiao Mei is getting this through. So it's really just about unreal strategy coming out from these guys. It's a chess match of where they go when you can disrupt recalls. How do you defend your base against getting backdoored? But with the Baron, CLG's corralled a bit. Can they hold yet again?
Too many questions, I think, to be answered in this one. An absolutely insane game, and who knows how long it's going to continue. As Xiao Mei, with that Oracle on, going to be clearing out these wards, and you can see the amount of wards in the top side of the jungle there from CLG's side. They're all blue. They've got great vision there, World Elite, to have, you know, to keep everyone on tabs. As Xiao Mei going to be forcing this top wave through. Obviously, Inhibitor is up on that side of things. Orianna down at the bottom. And I fear for World Elite, if they split up too much, Jack, they could end up throwing this one away.
Froggen really has turned himself into quite an assassin. If they get one pick in the wrong way, they're going to get completely obliterated through. But it's just because that Inhibitor on the bottom side has respawned now. Still the split push from Xiao Mei for Wicked. Any kind of initiation they get here could be the end of it. There's a 6-item build on a 2 and 10 Wei Zhao. That tells you how long this game has been going. 180,000 gold across both teams. Absolutely insane. Something's got to happen soon, because that top inhibitor is falling for Xiao Mei.
Xiao Mei's just trying to burn his way down in this one and just tank through the damage that Wicked is putting across to him. So you can see they're keeping them busy on the bottom lane there. Snoopy looking to see if he can get a cat, so it's all back towards the top. He's going to get the inhibitor down. Wicked cannot defend against this one, but he may be able to get the kill, and the death timers are huge. But no, the grasping roots didn't land, and again, Team WE keep them busy in this bottom lane, Joe. They're continuing to try and drive through.
And look at that inhibitor there, less than half health. Snoopy stood behind it as though, you know, praying for its survival at this stage. We are seeing them push now through on towards this inhibitor. Can they get in there? Snoopy's going to be critical in this one, whether he can get in there, land that Curse of the Sad Mummy across as many of them as possible. Look at Xiao Mei. He is pushing and pushing, but he's going to get caught out here by Yellow Pete. Can he escape from him? He's going to use a flash. Yellow Pete will flash in as well. He's happy there to take him down. Here comes Snoopy.
Because the Sad Mummy comes down, FCZS is going to get deleted. Messiah has to use his Zhonya's, but it's not enough. Froggen might get caught out. It's pulled him in. It pulled him into Wei Zhao. And Messiah's going to go down. Guardian Angel popped. Xiao Mei's come back up towards the top as well. Yellow Pete's on him. That's Messiah down. The death timers are so huge. Everybody from WE has to back away from this one. Team WE, CLG have not got anything left standing in their base, so they've just got to defend it. Is Yellow Pete going to make a run for it?
WE was one hit away from finishing off that inhibitor when the fight started, and you can see now Froggen and Pete just dipping through the mid lane, but with all of their base exposed, they have to be very careful. Xiao Mei making sure to keep pressure on that top lane. This at the very least is going to be an inhibitor. He's going in to try to finish this inhibitor. He's actually suiciding, trying to stall. Is he going to get it?
Yeah, he's going to take the inhibitor down. Clearlove obviously is not going to be escaping this little scene here, but he's done his job. Guardian Angel will get popped. Meanwhile, Froggen and Yellow Pete are pushing, and well, Clearlove managing to get away there. How is this happening? They're in on the Nexus turret.
He's
the
tanking
first one is going to be falling here. He is tanking it. Froggen is going to be taking this one down. Yellow Pete backs away, and are they going to keep going here? They're not going to keep going. They've got super minions coming out.
Got away.
Oh my goodness, Clearlove escaped during all of that because everyone on CLG had to peel off to stop super minions from killing the Nexus turrets, so he was able to walk off. This game is, wow, not real. We've killed one Nexus turret on each team. The inhibitors have cycled so many times on CLG, I can't fully keep track, but the middle one is now up, so they've avoided the super minions coming through with 2 in each wave. This entire game, they've never let that moment happen. I don't know when the Baron is up again because there's so much action. That really doesn't even matter that much because of the way these team fights are going out. Everyone steadily approaching 6 items. Take a look at this. Zyra has 17.6 thousand gold on support right now because this game is so freaking long.
So long, and you can see Rabadon's death caps on all the supports, you know. I mean, just look at Krepo. Krepo's, like you mentioned earlier on, he's effectively another AP champion. If he actually picks up a GA as well, which maybe he will, he's got to keep a space, though. That's the problem. He's got to keep a slot for those wards. He's still the support. He's got to remember that. Despite the fact he is up to 18,000 gold almost. So, Team WE, they've got the respawns on. They can keep the pressure on. You can see all the lanes are pushed. Only one inhibitor. One Nexus turret down, though. if they can pull off another fight like that, 21-35, the score tells the difference. Every time there's a fight, CLG come out on top. The question is, can they defend long enough?
WE does seem very stubborn in their strategy here, and they're just going to keep trying until it works. Even very early on in the game, they really wanted to get that middle turret, so they kept going again and again and again, and they're just going to continue to try and get all 3 of these inhibitors down because they think if they can ever get that, it'll be enough to end the game. So they continually lose these team fights, as you can see by that 35-21 kill score. But if they can get those inhibitors down, they think they'll have it. So they're all going to make sure they get their elixirs up, they control that area, and as long as they keep fighting on CLG's side of the map, as we saw last time, it's very difficult for CLG to traverse the entire way and finish off the base. If they get a clean ace, CLG would be able to finish it off, but that's where WE feels the safest fighting.
We have gone past 100,000 gold. I didn't even know it could go that high. That's how long this one's been going on. A absolutely ridiculous game between World Elite and CLG EU. And now you can feel the pressure because no one really wants to spot the other team. It's hanging back, waiting for some kind of opportunity. You can see that Clearlove with the Oracle on, hanging around by the Baron pit, and Mumu's going to be coming in to try and have a look. There's a ward down. They see that Baron has just spawned as it lets off a roar. FZZF taking down the ward at the backside. CLG pushing with 3 down the middle. Chalme, surprisingly enough, is split off, and it's the Rumble once again with Wicked, who's going to be trying to defend him.
But now that the fight is happening near the Baron pit instead of in CLG's base, if CLG could have won that, they would be going for it. But because the super minions are pushing through and there's not enough to hold them off, Wicked by himself can't hold this. Xiaomei trying to get the turrets, but all of CLG is coming in around him. They're going to trade this for a Baron, but if Xiaomei dies, it's not going to be worth it.
Xiaomei is just going to walk away from it, though. Again, pops that ultimate. Is it going to be enough? The Baron's going to get picked up by WE. Now they're collapsing on towards it, and Snoopy immediately, they see the Baron, they back off. They realize the goose is cooked. They can't get on towards that one. They did keep the inhibitor, though. Top inhibitors now respawned. CLG just desperately trying to hold on to this base, but they're going to be fighting a Baron-up team. How big of an advantage at this stage, 100k gold in, is that going to be?
Here we go again. It's still going to be the stats for them, though. It's the health regen, it's the AP, and it's the attack damage. It's not to be understated, but it's definitely less important than would be, say, 25 minutes into the game. Let's just recap what we're going to have happen again. They're trying for the millionth time to get all 3 of CLG's inhibitors down and maybe end this game. You can see just down the gold, there's 26,000 gold on Yellow Pete. There's no way he can spend that much gold. He's sitting on 4K. Everyone on WE just max themselves out with elixirs. They want as much power in this fight. Xiaomei has oracles, so much armor, 335. They're going to try a bit of split pushing. They're going to try to catch CLG with their pants down a little bit and get these inhibitors down. If they win any kind of team fight in CLG's space, they'll end it. But if CLG EU is able to get a clean ace, they'd have enough time to finish off the game.
Here we go then, inhibitor is going to come under pressure. Chalme in there, they've taken it down below half, but you can see just how delicate the situation is. They can't stick around for too long once CLG get back into that one. But with the minions coming in, they may push further, Demon.
They're grouping a little bit too tight for me there. I was just thinking I could see Messiah getting that one ball in. They do manage to put a bit of damage on towards Messiah. There's 4 GAs across the whole of Team WE, so they're going to have to fight them and kill them 9 times over to manage to clear an ace here. CLG, though, have the damage. The question is, can they survive through it? Can Snoopy manage to land the ultimate in the right place?
There's actually 3 GAs on CLG EU as well. There's going to be a big fight coming up very shortly. You can hear the screams from the players going through. They're going for this final inhibitor. There's the blue ball.
Snoopy coming in there, but the shockwave down to the bomb was very strong. Crescendo comes around as well. Clearlove starting to fall low. World Elite trying to come away. Messiah under pressure. His GA is going to get popped, as is the one off Froggen. Crepo was in there. Chalme has managed to take down Yellow Peach GA, but there are 7 on the map right now. That's a lot of dying and coming back to life. Here we go. Chalme in towards Snoopy. Down to half HP. Flashes in. Yellow Peach is dead. Snoopy now the one under pressure. He will go down. Wicked is the last man left alive. His Guardian Angel gets popped, and this is it, Demon.
Yeah, they're going to take it through. That's the kill. You can see them. Team WE, after such a hard-fought match, 69-minute game, ladies and gentlemen. Give both teams a round of applause because that was a fantastic game. CLG versus Team WE, and wow, what a game, Jat. How the hell do you follow that 1 hour, 9-minute game? 200k gold plus across both teams. Absolute insanity.
You don't follow that. I mean, you can see how these teams got here and why they got here. This is the Titan clash we thought we were going to see when we had both undefeated teams coming in for this match. It's a 2-0 for the set, but holy crap, this is one of the most crazy games I've ever seen. I don't think I can get one that's higher than this. Too much happened in that game to really analyze it because the last 40 minutes was so much split pushing. Neither team was willing to give up, and it was just they finally broke through at the end there, got the right team fight. That's all I can say.
Demon, there was a video of you posted yesterday where you said you were running out of oxygen in a team fight. That was just incredible. It's a good job that I said, let's do the TriCast.
Let's do the TriCast, because that would have killed us, especially that area where there was a 2-3 minute fight, non-stop action, back and forth. So, Team WE, they are the victors. They win 2-1. And judging by the side screens, I'm pretty sure CLG NA have also won 2-0. So it's going to be CLG versus WE all over again for those guys in the winner bracket finals. No.
Fnatic won the set 2-1.
Holy moly, how the heck did they make that comeback? Fnatic
we did have a 70-minute game.
Versus WE. We did have a 70-minute game. They've played 3 games in the time that we played this. That's how long that game's been going on. So Fnatic versus WE in the winner bracket finals. That will be, I believe, tomorrow?
I think so, you're right.
I think that's tomorrow. Yeah. I'd have to check the schedule. You guys at home can check the schedule. It is IGN.com/IPL LOL. And wow, what a fantastic series between these two teams. I'm almost out of breath so many times in that game. I just don't know how we would have survived without the TriCast.
I like how Jack says there was too much in that game to analyze. That's how good that one was.
Just give up. It's like, it's too much.
You expect the 70-minute game from CLG, but you don't expect there to be 61 kills. And you don't expect both teams to have inhibitors and Nexus turrets down the entire match.
Absolutely crazy
stuff. The
stuff.
gold totals, I mean, we were over 100,000 there with minutes still to play in that game. Just ridiculous. But best game I've ever watched.
Best game we've seen in a long, long time, that's for certain. So, CLG, they go down to the lower bracket. Both CLGs go down to the lower bracket. Fnatic versus WE in the upper bracket. This is IPL 5 here. This is Jack to the right of me. I am D-Man. This is Joe Miller. We've been the TriCast. We will be back later on, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, we're going to take a break.